Shenandoah is a relatively small park. It's a relatively new park. It has one road, the Skyline Drive, that runs down the spine of the relatively small Shenandoah Mountains, but it's a really beautiful park. In 1959, when I was a little 6-year-old, my dad took me on the first and only road trip we've done together. He took me from our house in Delaware on a Friday afternoon. We traveled to Baltimore, where he had grown up. I slept in his bed that night in his under his old chenille comforter, and it seemed like a second later he was touching my shoulder. I'd never been up that early in the morning. We traveled pre-interstate system past battlefields of the Civil War to Front Royal, Virginia, my father describing the route that he knew so well. And then we drove up into clouds. I'd never been in a cloud before. He scattered deer with his horn. We stopped off at a little cabin, and it was chilly, and we put on a jeans jacket he had bought for me, and we made an unbelievably long hike, probably a mile, to see a little waterfall. We caught salamanders. We think we saw a bear. It was this amazing thing, and I can tell you right now, I'm 60 years old. That was an awfully long time ago when I was 6 years old, but I can still remember the warmth of my father's hand as we walked together, and him describing every tree and plant and animal that we saw. It was just this magical time. And that, again, reinforces that the experience of the national parks isn't just spectacular natural scenery. It's who you see them with, whose hand you're holding at the rim of the Grand Canyon, or in Yosemite, or in my case, at Shenandoah National Park. And for me, I'll always have my father, who's now gone, with that spectacular trip. I tried to recreate it many, many years later after I had remembered this. I'd spent years, most of my life, forgetting that we'd actually taken that trip together. And it came back to me one night in Yosemite, and the two of them are inextricably linked. And so I took my second daughter, Lily, down the Skyline Drive. We did see bears, and you know, had the experience and handed on to her, and I know she'll take her kids when she has them.